They say that philosophy is about the why, that theology is about the who. Some say that I'm just a poet with a few loose screws, but I say that after watching the 6 o'clock news, that sometimes you too got to lose your mind just so you can find it. Now and again you have to close your eyes and open your ears, listening to the soft murmurs captivating your mind into confinement. See, the last time that I can reminisce on a time when it was peaceful and quiet was in the middle of a subconscious riot. I saw a picture written in text which whispered immeasurable words, infinite images which I can't even begin to engrave into this poem, because it's been so long ago that I can't even slap box with the hands of time to go back to that distant region of my mind. But you see, if I could reach up and arm wrestle with the hands on the clock, I'd go way back into time before the tick-tock. I'd go back to that garden that they call Eden, and I'd find some tulips with two lips, and see, I imagine we speak just like this, and I'd ask it, why? Centuries later, is mankind still struggling with the idea of theology versus philosophy? Because ever since the beginning of time, there's been a never-ending debate over religion and science. And sometimes these different beliefs result in violence, and then that burning passion leads to death. And hey, if I could cheat death, I'd open up every grave from every boneyard of religious wars, and I'd ask God to resurrect every victim and martyr, bringing them back to life. Asking him to remove the arrows from their clipped wings, giving them new wings to fly and cut corners sharper than any butterfly knife. But if that happened, then how would these so-called truth seekers explain the stars that shine at night? See, I can imagine that back in the day that some minds, they were so inquisitive that that's where they came up with philosophy. But for some, ideology didn't feed them spiritually, so then came the writing in the books of theology. But before that text was even engraved into stone, even darkness knew that there was God and his word alone. You see, I've never seen God, but personally I know that he does exist. Because even as I dwell in the world of imprisoned angels, one dying breath away from the devil's chokehold which has me strangled, I know that everywhere I go, so goes the presence of divinity. We live in a world where dying is easy, and it's living that scares most of us, because for some people, just to exist is so hard. I said just to exist is so hard. Just to exist is so hard. Just like mommy always said, we can all sing together, but we cannot talk together. Nowadays, it's every man for himself yelling blasphemy at the top of his lungs. No one hears the silent cries from the innocent victims over the shots of the guns. Could this pandemonium be caused by overpopulation? Cursed and damned generations? You see, all I know is the same thing that someone else knows. And that's that the way that you control a society is to control the information that's given. To keep the truth noticeable, but at the same time still hidden. But once a man can find truth in this world full of lies, well, that's a revelation that can bring sight to sightless eyes. A revelation in which the Most High reveals himself to all of humanity. A revelation in which every king of this world will bow down to the Almighty under heaven's canopy. So why don't you go look for your revelation?